Hey guys, this is Oscar doing another weekend project. Today I'm working on a 2007 Chevy Silverado. This is a 1500. Today I'm going to show you how easily it is to replace your rear brakes on this bad boy, and at the same time save you some money. So the first thing you want to do is take off the rim. As you can see right here, that has been removed. And I'll also remove the actual drum. Now this is the actual drum right here. It is also recommended to get your drums resurfaced. This wasn't that bad, so I took it to my local shop and they resurfaced it for me. Now the first thing you want to do, you want to go ahead and make sure you have a catch pan underneath, and we're going to go ahead and spray it with some brake cleaner, kind of get all that brake dust out of here, so that way you don't breathe that in. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, as you can see, it's almost touching bare metal here, very thin. So now that we have that out of the way, and again, this is a single spring design that Chevy started to do. So again, they have a special tool for this, but I'm going to show you how you could remove that using a regular flathead screwdriver. So like always, make sure you buy the right part. I'm using Wagner brake shoes for this project. Again, you can use any type of brake shoes, but I never had any issues with Wagner, so I'm going to use that today. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this project started. Okay, so now that we sprayed some brake cleaner on this, you remove all that brake dust. We're going to go ahead and start by removing this spring. You could use a regular, you could use some regular pliers to pull on this string right here, and this is just holding the adjuster and this little bracket right here. If it helps you, I normally recommend to take a picture with your cell phone or a camera, so that we can kind of know where everything goes in place. Just so that we can, if it's your first time or second time, that's something helpful that I do encourage people to do. But in this case, what we're going to do, let me go ahead and start by removing this little spring, and just keep note of where that spring goes here. And I do have a special tool that looks like this, and this is basically a brake spring tool. The way it works, the spring actually goes in here, and then you turn the handle like so, and then it's gonna tighten up, and basically that's the whole purpose, is to kind of like hold on the spring, and then you can pull it. So let me use this tool real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and insert, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tying this up. Now that's tying up, I'm gonna go ahead and push this, and remember there's this little bracket, so just know that's gonna go ahead and be released. And then all I'm gonna do, take the spring out like so. There you go. And what I'm also gonna do, I like to kind of like place the stuff that I take out kind of like in order. So just for you, just set aside an area where you could use, so you can put your stuff as you're taking them off, and I can tell you for a fact it will help you out. Alright, so next step, let me go ahead and get this small spring out. This little lever here, so it looks like. And again, I'm just placing everything in order like so, right there. Okay, so the next step, now that we remove that spring and that adjuster bracket that we had here, the next step, we're going to go and remove this single spring that's holding the brake shoes on. Once we remove the single spring, we're going to pull on the brake pad, the brake shoe, so that we can remove this adjuster. Okay, now you do want to have a nice good size flathead screwdriver, And this is where you want to be a little bit careful, because the way we're going to do this, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and insert the flathead screwdriver on this spring, but at the same time I'm going to keep away my fingers. Okay, I'm just going to push it inwards. So basically this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the little side of this the wheel hub here, and I'm going to kind of push it towards inwards and then outwards. So basically this is what I'm doing, in and outwards, but you don't want to have your fingers in here. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how this is done. Okay, 1 second, get you a little close up. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Sorry guys, my camera fell. So again, this is how we're taking it off, and that's basically removed. Okay, so now that that's removed, that's going to go ahead and allow us to basically pry off the actual we're gonna actually push slowly on the actual brake shoe, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove the adjuster like so. There we go. And again, just make sure you keep a note where it's gonna go. As you can see, this adjuster has two grooves, one here, one there. And this groove, this is what's gonna go in there on the first one. Okay, so again, just make a quick note where everything is, so when you do put it back, you kind of have an idea of this. Okay, and also this adjuster, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the top part, and then I'm gonna grease up the inside of it, and put a little bit of anti-seize on the inside of the thread, so that way it doesn't seize up over time. Okay, so again, let me go ahead and continue. Alright, so the next step, now that we remove that one spring here, we can easily take off the brake shoe. Here at the bottom, the brake shoe is going to be sliding into this groove right there, so let's go ahead and remove this here. So here we go, took it off. Now I'm just going to put it here, so that way when I get the new brake shoe, I can make sure I compare it to make sure it's the right shoe that I'm going to put on the passenger side of the rear truck. Okay, so now we could go here on this side, and basically since we already removed this side, all we have to do, I'm just going to take again the flathead screwdriver, push it inwards. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Bear with me. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. And basically, that's going to go ahead, we're just going to remove the brake shoe like so. Now this did come off, don't freak out. Basically this goes under here. Here, let me show you. I don't know if you can see this small kind of like a bracket. We're gonna just put this back in here like so. Let me show you. Okay, and that's it. Just make sure this is in here, and then we're good to go. Alright, so let's go to the next step. Okay guys, so now that we have the brake shoes removed, the next step, we're going to go ahead and use a wire brush. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a couple points in the backing that we need to clean, and we're going to put a little bit of anti-seize. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and clean that off like so. There we go. Be careful not to breathe that brake dust there. And if you have to, you can put some more brake cleaner on that. Let's go. Alright, let me go and continue cleaning this. There we go. Take your time doing this, because remember, this is where your brake shoes are gonna go ahead and rub on this metal backing plate here, so you want to have that nice and clean. Oh, last spot right there. Alright. Now that we have those spots clean, right here, there, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of anti-seize, just a little dab on it. Alright, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and remove this brake shoe. This is actually holding the actual emergency brakes. So let me go ahead and show you how to remove that, okay? Okay, so the next step, we're going to go ahead and take this shoe off. Now this is going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to try to see if I can show you the way I do it. And many people might do the same way. So all you do is just turn this shoe over like this. And the trick to this, there's this little, right here, this bottom piece, we have to push it down here, so that way we can remove that assembly, and we can take this shoe off. The way you want to do it, you want to go ahead and with the flathead screwdriver pry this down where it's going to go down here, and then it's going to go ahead and release this brake shoe. So let me see if I could show you how to do this in real time. Let me see if I could put this camera on a tripod and see if I can kind of show you guys. There we go. Perfect. So let me show you guys what it looks like once you have this removed. Now that we remove this, we're just gonna see how it's no longer there. We push underneath here. We're just gonna go ahead and jiggle this out, and again, this is the actual spring that is kind of holding this. And the new brake shoe, it's gonna have that spring as well, and that's where we're gonna stick in that piece that I just took off in here, and we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. We'll just put it back there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. And again, I'm just gonna jiggle this, and this should come out. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And this is the actual spring I was talking about. Let's see how this is already removed. See that? So now that we have this out, we're actually going to go, I'm just going to push it in a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. See how it's pushed in now? I pushed it in. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the next step. All we have to do, keep in mind this is the passenger side of the truck. We're actually gonna go on the rear driver's side of the truck, and we're gonna go underneath the vehicle. See this wire here? The reason why it's like this is because I was pushing it on the other side. So all we're gonna do, we're just gonna disengage this part like so, and I'm just gonna push it inwards, because when I install the new brake shoe, I want to make sure that, see how something's stuck in here. There's a piece of plastic, it doesn't want to go in, but we have to push this inside, so that way on the rear side of the shoe it's not difficult for us to put this little ball into the other one. Okay, so let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. Alright, you see it's how it's already pushed in here. So that's why when I install a new brake shoe, I don't have to pull this or anything like that. I could just install it. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. But before I do, let me just go ahead and put some anti-seize on these corners here. Bear with me. Okay, so again, I'm just putting a little bit of anti-seize on the backing plate here, and again, this is where the brake shoes rub with the backing, so that way there's not a lot of friction. Okay, we got that. A little bit more on the other side. There we go. Just a little tab. Alright, perfect. So, next step, we're going to go in and install this brake shoe, okay? Let's get that started. Okay guys, so we're going to go install the brake shoe. Just with any part that you install, just make sure you compare it with the old one. This is a new Wagner brake shoe. I'm just making sure everything's you know, to where it needs to be, the size. Everything looks good on this side. Okay, and also on this side, and everything's basically lining up how it should be. Okay, so now that you have that confirmed, let's go install this brake shoe. Okay, so the way you want to install this, basically we're just going to put it in the same way we took it out. Make sure this side, I'm just going to pull it in like so. Okay, just going to make sure, I don't know if you can see this here, but that little piece, I'm gonna push down on this. There's like a little lever here. You're gonna push down. Same time, you're gonna try to push this cable inside, and that should go ahead and push it in. And again, be patient. It does take a little bit of time to do this. See how it went inside? Let me show you. Okay, see how that little metal piece went inside? So now I'm just gonna push it in, and it should go back in place. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this camera back here, get you guys a better picture. Okay guys, so again, now that we have this in place, I'm just gonna with the flathead screwdriver, I'm just going to push it inwards. And the whole point is for this to go in here. Okay? So let me go ahead and try to continue that process here. And again, be patient. Do not get upset or tired, and you just have to kind of mess with this a little bit so you can kind of get an idea how this is going to go inwards. And what I'm doing here back there, I'm just holding that cable. At the same time, I'm pushing this down so that way that little ball could go up there. Making sure that's nice and free so I can push it inwards. Alright guys, so as you can see, with a little bit of patience, let me get you guys a better picture here. I was able to get this bad boy in here. Just gonna pull it up. There you go. Basically, to make sure it's held in here, and that's basically how you install that here. So the rest, we're just gonna go ahead in reverse order, put everything back like we took it off here. Just make sure that when you do put this back, let me show you, make sure then when you do put everything back, everything gets put back like you took it off. Make sure here this goes in between here, and then we're going to go ahead and put that single spring. We're going to make sure that sits nice in here, right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue the process here. Okay guys, so I put the one-piece spring back here, and all I'm doing, I'm just putting the brake like so. I'm gonna go ahead and just put my finger in here and just pull against this so I can stick this in there temporarily. Here at the bottom, I'll make sure that's in there like so. And then here at the bottom, you see this little groove. This is where this is gonna go in. So do that here real quick. And then once you kind of have it in place, we're gonna go ahead and put the other one so that we can put this on top of that. Okay. Okay, guys, I was able to maneuver this back in place. So again, just make sure that's there, and here at the bottom, make sure that the bottom shoe brake groove goes in here. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do the same on this side. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. Alright guys, so we're gonna install this side. Just make sure you always compare the old with the new. In this case, everything is exactly the same, so we're gonna go ahead and install this. Now the way you do this, you would go ahead and start from the bottom. What I do, I just put my finger in this little groove and just push inwards. Then I make sure everything's lined up like this. Alright, now that I have that lined up, like you see, this has to go in here. So the next step, I'm actually going to use a screwdriver, and I'm going to go ahead and start pushing it inwards. Let me show you here. Okay, there you go, and that snapped in place. Everything's where it needs to be on both sides. And again, just make sure this is in here in the cylinder, brake cylinder, and then also make sure here everything's connected where it needs to be. Make sure that the one spring here it's underneath here, and the actual spring it's in this housing right there, small little space. Okay, so now that we have that installed, we're going to go ahead and continue putting the springs back. Okay, so let's go ahead and start that. Okay, so the next step, we're going to go and start installing the hardware. Remember the adjuster, make sure that you put a little bit of lube in here, just a little dab, tiny bit, a little bit up in there like so, a little bit of grease. That's perfect. Put it in here, and then this part I'm gonna go ahead and put some anti-seize here. Take this off. And what I sometimes like to do, I'll just take a wire brush, just clean it up a little bit, or if you have a bench wire wheel, you can do that, just to take whatever type of dust or anything that's in there. Just clean it up really nice, like so. And then I'm just going to put some anti-seize. Not a whole lot, just enough there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and install it back like so. Let me get the thread started. Okay, there we go. And just keep in mind, you will need to put the adjuster, you're going to have to adjust this, so we're going to go ahead and just try to put it a little bit inside. Give it a bit of clean there, like that, and then it's ready to be installed. Okay, so we're ready to install this adjuster. Keep in mind, this is going to go facing outwards like this. It's going to go in here, and this side is going to go facing like this. This is going to hit this tab right there. So let me kind of show you how that's going to go. See that? I'm just going to push this a little bit like so. Okay, that's perfect. Alright, there we go. See that? So that's gonna get installed, and then we're gonna get the little adjuster lever. We're just gonna put it in here. It's gonna go in this little hinge like so, like this. And this side, I don't know if you get to see this. Let me get you a close up. This little lever is basically going to be hitting here, like so. So the next step, I'm going to put this spring back. I don't know if you remember, but this was facing inwards, like so. And then this hinge is going to go on this side. And remember, you could use pliers for this, but since I have the luxury of this special tool, I'm just going to go ahead and use this real quick to wrap that back in place. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. I'll give you a better close-up. Again, I'm just gonna pull this in here, okay? So, you see what I'm talking about right now. Okay, there we go. Pretty cool tool to have. Okay, so if you can buy this one, I only pay like 12 bucks online. Alright, so this is how everything's gonna look after you're done. Again, make sure that this adjuster lever, it's actually hitting the star adjuster, and to adjust it, because you will need to adjust things, this is where this comes handy. This is to open it up, and it's gonna click. Make sure it clicks. And again, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure everything's where it needs to be. Okay guys, before we actually adjust the adjuster, we're gonna go ahead and hook up that the brake here. Remember guys how I took this off? So basically we're gonna go ahead and put this in here, and the way you do this, I can't do this with two hands, but I'm gonna use a plier, and basically I'm just gonna hold this in place, and then I'm just gonna pull it and put it in here. Okay, so this, I just want to kind of show you that if you have an idea how you do that. Okay, alright guys. Okay guys, so again, the way you do it, I grab this and I pull this inwards, and I got some really big pliers, and what I did, I pushed this wire forward and this one forward, and then I was able to connect this ball in here, so kind of like this. Okay, so now that's in there, we're good to go. Okay guys, so now that we installed that brake spring on the other side, the last thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the rotor. Now I did make sure that I put the adjuster all the way inside, so now the way I put the rotor on, I try to make sure that I turn it just a little bit. If I feel some plate then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put the adjuster inwards. Like so, until I feel a little bit of resistance. Let me try that. Okay, a little bit more. There. And you should hear that click as you adjust it. Alright, let me try that. Okay. See? Now that's better. It's a little bit tight, so we're good to go. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoy this how-to video, how to do your rear brake drums. And again, have a blessed day, and if I helped you today or save you some money, please let me know. Take care, guys.